Hey there everyone, welcome to Crappy Reviews, the home of no rules reviews. And what's no rules reviews mean exactly? Well, it means whatever the hell I want it to mean. I don't adhere to any set professional standards. It's all raw, my own personal thoughts and opinions. And if you don't like it, please don't watch. It's really simple, but there's always some idiot who doesn't understand what optional content is. But thank you if you do decide to stay and watch. It is Throwback Thursday, one of my favorite days of the week, where I get to do a retro review. Yes, these are a labor of love. I know that not a lot of people watch them, but they're fun to do, and I enjoy going back and playing some of these older games. Speaking of older games, it's Shenmue 2. Everywhere I go, people ask me about Shenmue 2. So I figured I would do a review of Shenmue 2 for, the Xbox. The original Xbox, throwing it back to the original Xbox. And if you guys didn't know, I played through the original Shenmue on the Sega Dreamcast, which was, one of my favorite platforms of all times. Yu Suzuki was kind of the mastermind behind this, and it's a very expensive kind of state-of-the-art game for the time, kind of this open world type game or whatever. But speaking of ahead of its time, graphically. Now graphically, I'm playing on the original Xbox. So, you would figure that it would look pretty good, and it looks okay, but honestly it still just looks kind of like a Dreamcast game, which makes sense. The Xbox was much more powerful than the Dreamcast, but you do get some of those features and things like that. Everything looks pretty good for the time. You have to take that in mind that this game came out a very long time ago, and so obviously it's not going to hold up tremendously to today's standards, and I think that it's one of those situations where when you look at this game, you have to keep that in mind. But graphically, not tremendous, doesn't hold up incredibly well, but there are no problems as far as like the frame rate or anything like that. So there is that to be said for it as well, and so I think that's very important. Now, as far as the gameplay, this is an open world action adventure game, and it actually has a lot of cool things to it. Like, you can search around, you can do little side quests and do little side adventures and things like that. You can, work. There is just a lot of things to do in this game, even using like the little toy machines where you put the quarter in and then you get the little bubble toy or whatever, and you can like spend a lot of time doing that as well. There's like the arm wrestling stuff. There is a lot of stuff that you can do, but the game traditionally is more of like QTEs and things like that. It's like you're going around and you kind of press the button that correlates with the QTE on the screen. So that's basically what happens. You can fast forward. What's cool is there's a game clock and you can kind of fast forward to it. You can do those kind of things. You can go into shops and you can talk to people and you can play different games, like I said earlier. It's very cool. I think that is, like I said, it was very ahead of its time. And it's one of those games that a lot of people have fond memories of, even if a lot of people didn't buy the game at the original time. But the gameplay is interesting, but I have to say that the controls handle like a shopping cart, especially on the Xbox, because you got to use the D-pad to go anywhere, and then if you use the thumbsticks, it basically kind of controls the camera. So as you can see, it takes a little bit of getting used to, but at the end of the day, you can get used to it. It's just a little annoying at times. And then as far as the plot, it kind of takes place in 1987, and you're Ryo Hazuki, and it takes up right from the end of the first one, which is where you basically arrive in Hong Kong from Japan, and you're still chasing after your father's killer. So basically, you're looking for the organization that does that. And you're searching for what's his name, Master Tao, I believe his name is. And so it's this big whole kind of whodunit where you're searching around and asking people for help and just kind of doing things, and you meet people along the way. That's pretty cool. It's got an interesting story. It's nothing like super fantastic. Some of the QTEs are a bit of a letdown, when you get to these certain parts, because you wish that you could be actually fighting a little bit better and things like that. But it's still a fun game that's got an interesting story. The third one supposedly is going to come, I don't know, next year or the year after. So this is one of those games that's pretty cool to pick up. Also, if you pick it up like I did, it has the Shenmue movie on there that kind of catches you up to what's going on with like the cutscene movies and things like that. So At the end of the day, Shenmue 2, it's okay. You know, it holds up. It's its own type of game. It's not for everybody, obviously. You know, if you like QTEs, if you like the story, if you like these games, then it's worth picking up for sure. But again, it's not going to be something that if you have, you know, if you're just used to like modern games and hate retro or whatever, you're probably not going to enjoy this. But anyway, Shenmue 2 gets a pretty good 8 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Remember to comment, rate, subscribe, rack 'em up. Crapgamer out.